Understand one other thing and listen very carefully. Because when this war comes, it will not just be a war on Iraq, but it's going to inflame, ignite the entire region. It's going to inflame, ignite the entire region, and it's very ominous already, because after all, there's already been not only a war going on against Iraq for 12 years called sanctions of mass destruction, but there's been a U.S. supplied, equipped slaughter against the people of Palestine. Now understand that I speak in this context as a very proud Jew. I speak as a very proud Jew. That makes me sick in my gut, sick in my stomach to see what Ariel Sharon and those monsters are doing to another people. I bring this up because I want to read something very quickly, and then I'm going to bring up a brother that I've known for over 20 years, a Palestinian American from the Palestine-Israel Peace and Justice Alliance. But let me read, just be patient for a second, please. I'm used to extemporaneous, not reading. People in Iraq and Palestine are not waiting for the U.S. to bring them democracy. The war Bush is after is a reflection of his own political failure and the greed for oil. No government has the right to interfere with the internal life of a sovereign nation, no matter how much they might dislike its leadership. And we should not forget the U.S. supported Saddam Hussein's rise to power. The U.S. has denied Iraq and Palestine the right to protect and defend themselves. It also continues to undermine their normal social, civil, and economic development. People in the United States need to know the real meaning of the terrorism that happens here on a daily basis with the help of your weapons and money. Stand up and tell your leadership to stop. That is from a sister, a voice from Gaza named Ruba. I bring to you now, again, one of our neighbors, our friends, my closest friend and comrade for over 20 years, Jamal Harbush.
Hi, it's so great to see so many of you out here in the cold. To tell George W. Bush that we do not support this war. We want him to stop the war against the Iraqi people. We also want him to stop the war against the Palestinian people. A war that our tax money pays for. We want to tell Bush and his really good buddy Sharon to stop killing innocent people. There's no courage in devastating millions of unarmed civilians. What have they done to deserve the demolitions of their homes, their crops and businesses, their livelihoods? How do their elementary schools and universities, their ambulances and hospitals, their water and electricity supplies, their mosques, their churches, how do these threaten either the U.S. or Israel? The war against Iraq has been going on for more than a decade. Now we stand on the brink of a terrible escalation of that war. In the same way, the war against Palestine has been going on for a long, long time. And here too, we stand on the edge of a disaster. There is a real possibility that Israel with Sharon will use the cover of a U.S. attack on Iraq to try to transfer, that is, to violently expel thousands or even tens of thousands of Palestinians. This would surely become a bloodbath, because Palestinians are not going to leave their country and their land. just because Israel and Sharon tells them to go. What we need is peace, not more wars. And if we want peace, we need to build hope and justice, not to spread destruction and despair. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Hannah Whiteman. Hannah is a high school student, and she and the other high school students are very, very brave here in Madison. This group from Memorial High School is called Peace and Action to Change Tomorrow, PACT. And they organized a teach-in on Iraq at Memorial High School. It was attended by 1,400 students. Let's hear it from all the high school students.
You know, most people have the notion that high school students across the country, when it comes to matters of war and politics, either don't know or just don't care. But there's a growing movement underfoot in the Madison area and stretching far beyond that. A movement calling for peace and calling for action. The youth has become increasingly aware of the problems that our country faces and searches for peaceful solutions. In Memorial, thanks to the help of PACT Calcina and the 20 student members of PACT, we successfully organized a teach-in about the situation in Iraq. And more than 70% of the students in our school attended. Some even being turned away at the door because of lack of seating. The students who attended listened with concentration and curiosity, showing an obvious interest. After the teach-in, students approached me and commended our work, saying we really opened their eyes to the peace issue, and they hope to help in any way possible. Because of the success of the teach-in, students from all over Wisconsin, places like Lodi and Milwaukee, began asking for advice on how to spread the word of peace in their schools and communities. We face several problems with the school board and the administration in our school, including being denied our civil liberties. And isn't it incredible that not only do we have to rob our enemy combatants of their rights, but have to take them away from the youth of America as well? Despite that, organizing for peace is becoming a productive and powerful article in Memorial and other high schools. The plan is to continue to push forth and expand on the so-called controversial peace issue. But as a student, I was unaware that peace was controversial. War is controversial. Not peace. And we will never back down. We have broken the stereotype of being lazy and good-for-nothing teenagers to commanding leaders and activists. We have excelled the standards set for us and plan to do so continually. The youth of Wisconsin will not sit idly by any longer, but will stand up and fight for peace. Students are encouraged to walk out of your school if Bush dares to attack. We will not sit by.